As Europe spiraled into World War I, the North Sea became the epicenter of a monumental clash between two naval titans, the British Royal Navy and Germany's Imperial Navy. Both nations were entrenched in an intense arms race, investing unprecedented resources into their fleets, driven by rising nationalism and imperial ambitions. Britain, with its long-standing maritime dominance, sought to maintain its two-power standard, ensuring its navy was stronger than the next two largest fleets combined. In contrast, Germany, eager to assert itself as a global power, poured resources into shipbuilding, aiming to rival British supremacy on the seas. The construction of dreadnoughts, massive, heavily armed battleships, became a hallmark of this competition. The North Sea, characterized by its strategic significance and proximity to Britain's coast, was chosen as the battleground where these colossal ironclads would clash, leading to the fate of nations being fought out on the waves. Both navies undertook extensive training and preparations while the world held its breath, anticipating an inevitable showdown that would redefine naval warfare and alter the course of history forever. The stakes were astronomical, and the high seas were ready for war. In the tumultuous oceans of World War I, two naval giants emerged, each with distinct philosophies that would determine the fate of their nations. Admiral Reinhard Scheer represented Germany, a strategic visionary intent on reshaping the Imperial Navy. Scheer believed in aggressive tactics, favoring bold, decisive engagements over the traditional cautious maneuvers. He aimed to utilize Germany's formidable battleships to challenge British supremacy directly, embracing the risk of confrontation. His approach was not just about numbers. It was about instilling fear in the British fleet, disrupting their dominance with surprise and audacity. Contrastingly, Admiral John Jellicoe, the British commander, embodied a defensive mindset. His strategy relied on maintaining the Grand Fleet's numerical superiority while avoiding unnecessary risks. He advocated for a cautious, calculated approach, believing that attrition would ultimately wear down the German forces. Jellicoe's methods were rooted in ensuring the safety of his fleet while engaging strategically, illustrating the profound differences in their naval doctrines. As tensions escalated, the stage was set for a critical showdown, with Scheer's daring vision poised to clash against Jellicoe's steadfast resolve, forever altering the course of naval warfare. The Battle of Jutland, fought in May 1916, marked a colossal clash of naval forces, with over 250 ships converging in the North Sea. This massive engagement involved the British Grand Fleet, led by Admiral Jellicoe, and the Imperial German Navy, commanded by Vice Admiral Scheer. The scale was monumental, with battleships, destroyers, and dreadnoughts showcasing their might. Imagine the thunderous cacophony of naval artillery as over 100,000 tons of steel unleashed their firepower, capable of sinking entire fleets within moments. Each battleship, towering at over 800 feet and armed with 12-inch guns, represented both technological innovation and lethal force. The speed of these dreadnoughts could reach 21 knots, closing the gap between foes at an alarming rate, amplifying the tension of the approaching showdown. The sheer size and power of these fleets promised a spectacle of unimaginable destruction. As the sun set on the horizon, the stage was set for an epic confrontation, where strategy, bravery, and advanced naval tactics would collide in a dramatic battle that would shape the course of naval warfare and leave its mark on history forever. On the fateful morning of May 31st, 1916, the air was thick with tension as the British Grand Fleet and the German High Seas Fleet first came into view of each other across the vast expanse of the North Sea. It was a moment that would mark the beginning of the Battle of Jutland, the largest naval engagement of World War I. As the colossal ships emerged from the mist, their massive silhouettes cut through the horizon like giants awakening from slumber. Suddenly, the silence shattered. A single shell was fired, soaring through the air and crashing into a steel hull. In an instant, chaos erupted. The thunderous roars of naval artillery echoed, sending huge shells arcing across the water, each one a harbinger of destruction. Battleships, armed to the teeth with guns and torpedoes, took their positions, trading fire with deadly precision. As the first blows were exchanged, the resolve of both fleets was tested, setting the stage for one of the most violent confrontations in maritime history. This unexpected clash not only determined the fate of nations, but reshaped naval warfare forever, as strategies evolved in response to the brutal realities of battle at sea. At the Battle of Jutland in May 1916, Admiral John Jellicoe executed a tactical maneuver that would define naval warfare, the turning in sequence. As the British Grand Fleet engaged the Imperial German Navy, Jellicoe understood the stakes were monumental. He ordered his ships to turn in sequence, forming a formidable line of battle. This allowed the British fleet to concentrate their firepower effectively. As the ships swung into position, they unleashed a devastating barrage on the German fleet, which was struggling to maintain formation amidst the chaos of battle. The Germans, under Vice Admiral Reinhard Scheer, faced an almost overwhelming onslaught. Jellicoe's maneuver not only showcased his tactical brilliance, but also nearly sealed the fate of Scheer's fleet. The German ships were caught in a deadly crossfire, their attempts to return fire hampered by the British's superior positioning. It was a hair's breadth from disaster for the Germans, as they narrowly avoided annihilation. This pivotal moment in naval history demonstrated how skillful tactics could turn the tide of battle, emphasizing the importance of strategic foresight in warfare. In the heat of battle during the First World War, Admiral Reinhard Scheer faced a dire situation. His fleet was heavily outgunned and under relentless fire from British forces. With his ships in grave danger, Scheer executed a bold maneuver known as the Battle Turnaway, a decisive act that would showcase his extraordinary leadership and tactical prowess. This maneuver involved turning his ships away from the enemy while still under heavy bombardment, a risky move that required not only skill but immense courage. Scheer understood that a direct assault would lead to catastrophic losses, so he opted for a daring retreat that defied conventional naval tactics. The ships turned sharply, creating a wall of smoke and confusion that obscured their movements. This audacious decision allowed them to evade destruction, a turning point that left both his crew and adversaries in awe. It was a true testament to Scheer's ability to remain calm under pressure, adapting quickly to changing circumstances. This moment not only saved his fleet, but also bolstered German morale, highlighting how exceptional leadership can alter the course of history, even amidst overwhelming odds. As darkness enveloped the battlefield, chaos reigned supreme. The clash of two fleets under the moonlight turned into a nightmarish struggle, where smoke and confusion obscured clear sight. Commanders shouted orders, but the fog of war twisted communication, leading to friendly fire incidents and near misses that shattered the morale of both sides. Each explosion echoed like a reminder of the dangers lurking in the shadows, where the enemy could be anywhere and nowhere at once. Soldiers, silhouetted against the backdrop of flames, were forced to make split-second decisions in a disorienting landscape. With visibility reduced to mere feet, it became a deadly game of chance. Trusting instincts over orders, warriors fought valiantly, but survival often depended on luck more than skill. As the night dragged on, the air thickened with smoke and fear, and the line between friend and foe blurred. Each moment felt surreal, where every breath could be life or death. In this midnight clash, the battlefield transformed into a living nightmare, a testament to the chaos that can erupt when strategy falters and miscommunication reigns supreme. This is the haunting reality that many faced during the turmoil of war. The Battle of Jutland in May 1916 stands as one of the largest naval engagements of World War I, leaving behind a legacy of contested claims of victory. Britain and Germany both declared triumphs. However, the aftermath reveals a more complex reality. The British Grand Fleet, under Admiral Jellicoe, suffered significant losses, with 14 ships sunk and over 6,000 men killed. Despite these casualties, the Royal Navy maintained its control of the North Sea, essential for securing supply routes and blockading Germany. This control was critical in a war that relied heavily on maritime supremacy. On the other hand, the German High Seas Fleet, commanded by Vice Admiral Scheer, achieved a tactical success by inflicting heavier losses on the British. However, they were unable to break the British blockade that strangled Germany's economy and war efforts. Germany's inability to decisively alter the naval balance ultimately prolonged the conflict, continuing the stalemate that characterized World War I. The question remains, was Jutland a turning point that paved the way for future victories, or did it merely entrench the status quo, leading to a prolonged and devastating war for both sides? The Battle of Jutland, fought in 1916, marked a significant turning point in naval warfare, illustrating the limitations of the battleship-centric strategies of the time. Despite being the largest naval battle of World War I, with over 250 ships involved, its inconclusive outcome raised crucial questions about the effectiveness of battleships in modern combat. The engagement highlighted the need for more versatile vessels and ushered in a new era of naval tactics. Following Jutland, naval powers began to rethink their strategies, focusing on speed, maneuverability, and air power. This shift was epitomized by the development of aircraft carriers, which allowed navies to project power over vast distances, fundamentally altering the landscape of naval engagements. The rise of naval aviation led to innovations in ship design, emphasizing lighter, faster ships equipped with enhanced armaments and flight decks. By World War II, the dominance of aircraft carriers was evident as they played pivotal roles in battles such as Midway and Coral Sea. The legacy of Jutland thus persisted, influencing the tactical doctrines and operational strategies of navies worldwide, dramatically reshaping how wars at sea would be fought in the 20th century.